Good evening. This is All India Radio. I'm Manisha Kumar with the news at 9. The headlines. Japan Prime Minister Kishida Fumio arrives on a two-day visit to India tomorrow. Bilateral and regional issues of mutual interest high on the agenda. Information and Broadcasting Minister Anurag Thakur says abusive language in the name of creativity on OTT platforms will not be tolerated. India and Maldives review defence ties during 4th Defence Cooperation Dialogue at Malé. In boxing, Nikhat, Zareen and Manisha Maun enter pre-quarterfinals in Women's World Championships in New Delhi. And in cricket, Australia defeat India by 10 wickets in the second ODI at Vishakhapatnam. Level the 3-match series 1-1. And now the news in detail. Prime Minister of Japan, Kishida Fumio, will arrive in New Delhi tomorrow morning on a two-day visit to India. He is scheduled to hold talks with Prime Minister Narendra Modi. During the meeting, both sides will discuss bilateral and regional issues of mutual interest. The visiting dignitary will give the 41st Sapru House lecture in the afternoon. India-Japan relations were elevated to special strategic and global partnership in 2014. India-Japan partnership encompasses a wide range of areas, ranging from defence and security, trade and investment, science and technology, education and healthcare. More from our correspondent.
Defence and security cooperation has emerged as one of the most important pillars of the India-Japan Special Strategic and Global Partnership. It is an important factor in ensuring peace and stability in the Indo-Pacific region. Both countries are also making steady progress under the Defence Equipment and Technology Agreement signed in 2015. The meeting between the two Prime Ministers is being held at a significant time when India and Japan are holding the presidencies of the G20 and G7. This visit gives an opportunity to cooperate and discuss on how G20 and G7 can work together on converging priorities on critical global issues including food and health security, energy transitions and economic security. Suparna Seikya, AIR News, Delhi.
Union Minister of Information Broadcasting and Sports and Youth Affairs, Anurag Thakur, has made it clear that abusive language in the name of creativity will not be tolerated on OTT. He expressed concern on the increasing obscenity and abusive language on the OTT platforms and said the government is serious about the complaints of increasing abusive and obscene content on this platform. He said this while addressing a Meet the Press in Nagpur Press Club today.
शिकायतें पिछले कुछ समय में बढ़नी शुरू हुई और डिपार्टमेंट इसको बड़ा गंभीरता के साथ ले रहा है। हम इसके ऊपर कुछ बदलाव भी करना पड़ेगा तो बड़ी गंभीरता के साथ सोचेंगे क्योंकि आजादी दी थी क्रिएटिविटी के लिए, गाली गलौज के लिए, अश्लीलता के लिए नहीं। और जब एक सीमा को कोई पार करेगा तो क्रिएटिविटी के नाम पर गाली गलौज, असभ्यता ये स्वीकार नहीं हो सकती।
The minister explained that there is a mechanism for complaint resolution. He said the producer has to resolve the received complaints at the first level and 90 to 92% of the complaints are resolved. Speaking on Khelo India, the Union Minister informed that 1,000 Khelo India centres will be started across the country by 15th August this year. He said 945 centres have been already approved. Union Home and Cooperation Minister Amit Shah has said the proposed multi-state cooperatives for the promotion of organic products and export of agricultural products will lead to economic upliftment of the farmers in the coming days. He was addressing the farmers after inaugurating the new APSC Kisan Bhavan and laying the foundation stone for the headquarters of the District Bank at Junagadh in Gujarat today. The Home Minister also addressed the convocation of Gujarat's Central University. He said when the country is moving towards the Amrit Kal, aiming to achieve the heights of development in every sector of life, the young generation has a big role to play. Mr. Shah, who was on a two-day visit to Gujarat since yesterday, also visited the Somnath temple and offered prayers. President Draupadi Murmu has said while women dedicate themselves to the well-being of their family, they should also take ample care of their own health and finances. She called upon women to provide good education to their children, irrespective of their gender, and urged them to make those women as role models who came up in life despite severe odds. The President is in Lakshadweep as part of her 6-day tour. She interacted with members of women's self-help groups engaged in seaweed farming, rearing of ornamental fishes, poultry and nutrition farming at Kavaratti today. The second meeting of the Startup 20 Engagement Group under India's G20 presidency concluded in Gangtok today. Presenting the closing remarks, Startup 20 Chair Dr. Chintan Vaishnaw commended the Startup 20 Engagement Group's phenomenal journey within a short time frame. He highlighted the roadmap for building consensus around ideas presented by representatives from diverse startup ecosystems. More from our correspondent.
The final day of Startup 20 Sikkim Sabha included meetings on deliverables under the Startup 20 task forces of Foundation, Alliance, Finance, Sustainability and Inclusion. Mentoring, market access and funding were identified as critical areas for startups. The need for a single window platform for easing access to funds and knowledge sharing across G20 nations was highlighted. Establishing a common Startup 20 fund, harmonizing taxes, capacity building, a rating mechanism for startups, economic inclusion of underrepresented groups of society were among the key recommendations and observations for policymakers. The next Startup 20 meets are scheduled in Port Blair in April and in Bengaluru in May before the Startup 20 Summit in Gurugram in July. With Diliram Dulal Cycle Sarkar from Gangtok for AIR.
The first Labour 20 L20 meeting under India's G20 presidency began in Amritsar today. L20 is one of the engagement groups under the G20. It comprises leaders and representatives of trade union centers of G20 countries who provide analysis and policy recommendations aimed at addressing labor-related issues. India's largest labor organization, Bharatiya Mazdoor Sangh, is hosting the L20 inception meeting with other leading trade unions of the country. This is All India Radio giving you the news. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle at AIR News Alerts. The fourth Defence Cooperation Dialogue between India and the Maldives was held in Malé today. The dialogue was co-chaired by Defence Secretary Giridhar Armane and his Maldivian counterpart Major General Abdullah Shamal. During the interaction, the ongoing bilateral defence cooperation activities were reviewed and both sides expressed satisfaction at the increasing engagements. The talks covered the existing bilateral exercises, with both countries agreeing to increase the complexity of these drills. The Ministry of Defence said Defence Cooperation Dialogue is the highest institutionalized interactive mechanism between the two countries. The Defence Secretary said that India looks forward to continued engagement based on the common understanding reached at this Defence Cooperation Dialogue. As Mann Ki Baat program is reaching its 100th episode next month, All India Radio brings you a special series with excerpts from the program.
People, voice and direct dialogue. That's your and our Mann Ki Baat. Yes, this is how our Prime Minister connects with millions of countrymen with the program Mann Ki Baat, aired on the last Sunday of every month on All India Radio. This series, which started on October 3rd, 2014, will complete its 100th episode in April 2023. Northeastern region of India is rich in nature's bounty as well as its own distinct culture. And yet, since long, it has nursed a grievance of feeling isolated and away from the path of progress. The first to look into their problems was the government of Shri Atal Bihari Vajpayee. And the Narendra Modi-led government took a step further in the same direction. The winds of change have swept across the Northeast, and development is visible in every sphere. In Mann Ki Baat episode, broadcast on 26 July 2015, Prime Minister spoke about how important it is to ensure growth and development in the Northeast.
जब अटल बिहारी वाजपेयी जी प्रधानमंत्री थे, तब एक डोनर मिनिस्ट्री बनी थी, डेवलपमेंट ऑफ नॉर्थ ईस्ट रीजन. हमारी सरकार बनने के बाद हमारे डोनर डिपार्टमेंट में एक बड़ा महत्वपूर्ण निर्णय किया है कि क्या नॉर्थ ईस्ट का भला दिल्ली में बैठ करके हो जाएगा क्या? और सबने मिलकर के तय किया कि भारत सरकार के अधिकारियों की टीम नॉर्थ ईस्ट के उन राज्यों में जाएगी, नागालैंड हो, मणिपुर हो, अरुणाचल हो, त्रिपुरा हो, असम हो, सिक्किम हो, और 7 दिन वहाँ कैंप करेंगे, जिलों में जाएंगे, गांवों में जाएंगे, वहाँ के स्थानीय सरकार के अधिकारियों से मिलेंगे, जनप्रतिनिधियों से बातें करेंगे, नागरिकों से बातें करेंगे।
The special Mann Ki Baat series can be heard every day in the morning and evening bulletins. Punjab Police launched a massive statewide cordon and search operations in the state against elements of the outfit Waris Punjab Day. Around 7 people were arrested yesterday for possessing illegal arms and ammunition. Today they were presented at Baba Bakala Court and sent on 4 days police remand by the court. They will be again produced in the court on March 23rd. Meanwhile, Punjab government has suspended internet services in the state for another day in order to maintain law and order situation. The first session of the 14th Nagaland Assembly will begin tomorrow. On the first day, newly elected members of Assembly will be administered oath and election of Speaker will also take place. The session will witness address of the Governor and presentation and passage of the budget. The new NDPP-BJP Alliance Nagaland government was sworn in on the 7th of this month. The Islamabad police have filed an FIR including terrorism charges against former Pakistan Prime Minister and Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf PTI party chairman Imran Khan. The FIR names more than a dozen other PTI leaders for attacking police officers and causing chaos outside the Federal Judicial Complex. Hours-long clashes were reported between PTI workers and the police yesterday after former Pakistan PM reached the Federal Judicial Complex for a hearing in the Tosha Khana case. Meanwhile, Senior Vice President of PTI Fawad Chaudhry has said the party will file cases against police officers involved in the operation and violence during a raid to arrest Imran Khan. Lok Sabha Speaker Om Birla today took stock of the damage of crops due to rain and hailstorm in Barundhan and Alkodia villages of Bundi district in Rajasthan. He interacted with the affected farmers and assured them of all possible help. Mr. Birla instructed the officers to get the insurance benefits released to the insured farmers as soon as possible. He said that those farmers who do not have crop insurance should be given assistance from the Disaster Relief Fund. Boxing star Nikhat Zareen has stormed into the pre-quarterfinals of the Women's World Championships in New Delhi. Nikhat blew away Algeria's Baulam Romesa to secure the pre-quarters berth in the 50 kg event. Nikhat downed the reigning African champion by a 5-0 unanimous verdict. Last edition's bronze medalist Manisha Maun in 57 kg too advanced to the round of 16 with a 5-0 win against Rahimi Tina of Australia. In cricket, Australia defeated India in the second one-day international by 10 wickets at Vishakhapatnam. Put to bat first, Indian batsmen were all out for 117 in just 26 overs. Virat Kohli with 31 and Akshar Patel with 29 were the top scorers for the hosts. Mitchell Starc wreaked havoc with the 5-wicket haul. Sean Abbott took 3 wickets and Nathan Ellis 2. In reply, Australia overhauled the target in just 11 overs without losing a single wicket. They scored 121 with Mitchell Marsh scoring 66 and Travis Head 51. The 3-match series is now levelled at 1-1. India won the first ODI in Mumbai by 5 wickets. The 4th Asian Kho-Kho Championship for men and women will begin at Buxa district in Assam tomorrow. Altogether 9 countries and with over 700 players and officials will participate in the 4-day event. And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Japan Prime Minister Kishida Fumio arrives on a 2-day visit to India tomorrow. Bilateral and regional issues of mutual interest high on the agenda. Information and Broadcasting Minister Anurag Singh Thakur says abusive language in the name of creativity on OTT platforms will not be tolerated. India and Maldives review defence ties during 4th Defence Cooperation Dialogue at Malé. In boxing, Nikhat Zareen and Manisha Maun enter pre-quarterfinals in Women's World Championships in New Delhi. And in cricket, Australia defeat India by 10 wickets in the second ODI at Vishakhapatnam, level the 3-match series 1-1. That's all in the news at 9. Good night.